Titletown, it's Green Bay, back to town. Matter, hey, sacrifice the price we pay. Never back down, ain't no way. Champions in every way. Leaders on board, they are made. Fight for greatness every day. It's Titletown, USA. Go Pack, go! 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 Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? It's Mr. Inconsistent, aka Ryan with the Packers Hub, and I am coming back to you with another podcast. And I fucking mean it this time that I'm gonna start grinding this shit. I'm gonna start doing it more consistent every week, 2 times a week. I'm gonna get it done. I'm on the path and I'm gonna do it. I mean it this time. So in this podcast, we're just gonna talk about my thoughts at the bye week, where we are, what players are playing well, what players are not playing well, and just my general thoughts about where we are at this time. And after this podcast, I'll make a video previewing the Rams game. I was thinking about just doing both together, but my thoughts at the bye week are going to take, I think, probably quite a while because I like to explain myself and this, that, and the other thing. So I'm going to be doing the Rams video after this. So right now we're just going to talk about my thoughts at the bye week. So let's look at who is and who is not playing well. We'll start out with the players that are playing well. Surprisingly, I did not think that this would be the case, but Pro Football Focus came out with their safety rankings, and HaHa is the second ranked highest safety in the league right now. He has 87.8 grade, and he's just behind Earl Thomas. So HaHa is actually playing phenomenal football right now, but he came out last week and he's like, yeah, I don't think I'll be back next year. It's like, dude, what the fuck? And you know what? Here's what I think it is. This guy is always on Twitter. And, with HaHa, it's always like he makes some lazy attempt at a tackle, or he takes a poor pursuit angle, or he's caught out of position and he gives up a big play or something along those lines. And I guarantee that people are on Twitter motherfucking HaHa, and then HaHa gets on Twitter and he's like, oh, the fans hate me. Oh, I can't come back to Green Bay. It's like, oh my fucking God. I thought the same thing with Demarius Randall. And other guys who have a strong Twitter presence but then are known to give up big plays. It's like they go on Twitter and they see that they're getting motherfucked by the fan base and they're like, oh fuck, the fan base hates me and all this shit. It's like, dude, there's way over emotional fans that are gonna be doing that shit. So I feel like HaHa's taking all that shit to heart. Or maybe his agent hasn't heard anything about contract extension talks or, what have you, whatever it is. But something prompted HaHa to say that he doesn't think he'll be back next year, and whether he thinks that he doesn't want to be back next year or he doesn't think that the team wants him back next year, who fucking knows? All he said was, I don't think I'll be back next year. And kind of sucks ass because now he's actually playing his best football. He's playing better football right now than he was when he went to the Pro Bowl. He has 3 interceptions in 6 weeks. He's playing solid, and I was kind of surprised that he's ranked as high as he is. I mean, I didn't think he was playing that good because we have seen those poor angles, those sloppy tackle attempts, and him being caught out of position. But, there's so many variables about the defensive play call and his role in the play. So, it may look like to us that he's out of position, but that's where he was supposed to be based on the play call. So, who knows? I hope we work things out with HaHa, maybe offering him extension. But here's another worry of mine is that he's playing so well right now. What if he's just like, I want top safety money? Oh, my God. My concern with HaHa is that this guy is going to be like, oh, I want top safety money now that he's, say he continues this trend of high play and he ends up being a top 5 graded safety in the NFL. He's like, oh, I want top safety money. It's like, dude, you're so fucking inconsistent. So it might be justifiable that we can't bring this guy back after the season, because if he's demanding top safety money, it's like, oh, so you finally had your best year in a contract year. How can we trust you going forward when you're so inconsistent? I mean, this guy's all over the place. Last year, he wasn't as bad as everybody makes him out to be. I mean, I think he still had like a 79 grade according to Pro Football Focus. But I mean, this guy, just when it comes down to it, he's inconsistent. He's out of position, or so it seems, and he definitely makes sloppy tackle attempts and takes poor pursuit angles. I mean, there's no way you can finagle out of that one. Like, that's definitely true here and there. But with his inconsistency, it doesn't warrant giving him, $10 million a year or whatever the fuck that he's probably going to want. So maybe it does make sense that he would want to leave. But definitely, well, actually, looking at the safety market last year, it was pretty, safeties weren't getting paid at all. I mean, Morgan Burnett got the highest safety contract, I believe, and it was, like $5 million a year, or like $4 or $5 million a year, something like that. So, yeah, hopefully we can get HaHa back at a reasonable price. I mean, the guy, if he continues to play super well this season, he's a top 5 graded safety, then yeah, the guy deserves to get paid. I'm not against him getting paid. But we need more consistency. And if we're going to pay him big bucks, then we can't be seeing what we've seen. I don't know. But all of it in summation, HaHa has played very well this season, despite some of what we've seen. He's the second highest graded player at safety, just behind Earl Thomas. So, fuck yeah, HaHa. Let's keep it up. Get some more picks. Aaron Rodgers. Don't even need to really delve into this one. 2 come from behind, fourth quarter comebacks. He's the second highest graded QB, right behind Tom Brady, and it's literally like by a hair. He's like 90.4, Tom Brady's like 91 or something like that. They're really close to each other. So Aaron Rodgers playing great. You can see that he doesn't really trust Mike McCarthy's system, and that's, maybe I'll go into that a little later, but you can really see that he doesn't trust Mike McCarthy's system, and that may be why that the offense really isn't as smooth as we've seen it in 2014, 2011 times, or 2016 when we ran the table, times like that where everything was running smoothly. But then again, that's all times in 2016 when we were killing it at the end when we ran the table, Mike McCarthy was calling the plays. So I don't really know what's going on right now. But moving on to another thing about why the offense might not be. Aaron Jones is kicking ass. Aaron Jones is one of the highest graded running backs in the NFL. I'm pretty sure he's a top 10 rated running back. According to Pro Football Focus, he's a 77.1, which is decently high for a running back. This guy's just not getting carries. I think our offense would be so much better equipped if we gave Aaron Jones the ball more. You look at the last game that we played against the 49ers, holy shit, how many 3rd and 10s did we have? It was like 8. It was over 8 3rd and 10s that we had. That's unacceptable. Give Aaron Jones the ball on 1st or 2nd down, and let's make it like a 3rd and 6, a 3rd and 4, a 3rd and 2. That's way more manageable than these 3rd and 10s. 8, more than 8 3rd and 10s. That is completely unacceptable. We're putting our offense in such disadvantageous positions by not running the ball earlier on downs. And no, I don't want to be the run-pass team like the Bears were last year, but Aaron Jones needs carries. And you know what? I will give Mike McCarthy credit because he said he just did a press conference. I was going to do this podcast, but then I saw he was doing a press conference, so I delayed it so I could watch the press conference. And he did say that during the bye week, he and the coaching staff did a bunch of self-scout, and they said one thing that they definitely came away with after doing their self-scout was they need more rushing attempts. But here's where I kind of, it's like, all right, yeah, we need more rushing attempts to Aaron Jones. Jamal Williams and Ty Montgomery. Ty Montgomery's had some nice runs, so is Jamal Williams, but at the end of the day, it's Aaron Jones who's the most explosive, the most elusive, and he has the best vision. He can find the hole, and he can hit the hole, and he can hit it with speed. We need Aaron Jones in, and he needs more carries. We can't be doing this running back by committee bullshit when it's completely obvious to everybody that's watching football, to the reporters, to the analysts, to the fans. I guarantee even the coaches are like, Mike, come on, we got to give Aaron some more snaps, man, some more attempts. It's obvious to everybody watching that Aaron Jones is the most talented and he needs more carries. It's completely obvious, so that needs to happen. So when he says that we need more rushing attempts, I hope he means to Aaron Jones. Jamal Williams, Ty Montgomery, not taking anything away from them. They've had some nice carries, but they've also ran into the backs of offensive linemen and dumb shit like that. And according to Pro Football Focus and everybody that watches the Packers games, Aaron Jones is head and shoulders above those two, so he needs the carries. Moving on. David Bakhtiari, what can you say? I mean, it's week in and week out. This guy is like consistently the highest graded offensive tackle in the league. Right now he is the highest graded offensive tackle in the league. He has like a 90 overall rating, which is elite. So yeah, I mean, D-back is D-back. He's, steady as a rock. He's so consistent. He's going to shut down the best pass rusher on the team week after week. So I love that guy. Probably going to be the next jersey I buy. Corey Linsley, I am pleasantly surprised because I've been very critical, especially during the preseason, of our interior offensive line. Now, I'll get to, believe me, I will get to the guard spots when we talk about positions that haven't played well. But Corey Linsley, the number 4 ranked center in the league right now, the number 4. So top 5 center in the league. He's playing really well, and in some ways, center is one of the most important positions on the offensive line because they make all the calls and the checks. And he's like, oh, fucking Lane, tag here. Like, obviously he doesn't say, oh, Lane, we're going to tag that guy. But, like, in their terminology or whatever, he says, Lane, we're going to tag him. Or Brian and Justin, you guys are fucking doing this seal block or pulling or, whatever the fuck. He makes a lot of checks at the line. So with him playing well, and, he's a damn smart guy coming out of Ohio State. So, I'm very pleasantly surprised to see Corey Linsley's playing well. And everybody's like, oh, we're just pleasantly surprised. He always plays well. No, that's not the fucking case, because if you look at his Pro Football Focus grades throughout his career, they haven't been the grades that you would really expect from him. It seems like he plays solid, but his past grades have been concerning, which is why when we gave him that new extension, I was like, hold on, pump the goddamn brakes, because I don't know if his play has really warranted this kind of extension, but so far this year it has. So I'm pleasantly surprised. Hopefully he keeps it up. Jair Alexander, he's the number 15th ranked cornerback in the league right now. He's played really well. Hopefully he comes back this week, which everybody is expecting him to, because he almost played last week. So I'm excited for both rookie corners. Josh Jackson, he's just making rookie mistakes right now. But Jair has played really well. He's number 15th ranked cornerback in the NFL, 75.4 grade, which is it's pretty decent. So Jair is trending up. I'm glad he's coming back this week. It should be really good for us, especially he can match up with Brandon Cooks, his speed. Because last week we didn't have anybody that could cover Marquise Goodwin, and everybody's like, "Oh, Kevin King's fast." Yeah, Kevin King gets fucking torched by Marquise Goodwin. I mean, Marquise Goodwin is just a different level of speed. He ran like a 4.27 or 4.28 or something like that. Like, this guy's an Olympic fucking lawn jumper. This guy can fucking move. So it'll be good that we're getting Jair back this week so we can match him up with Brandon Cooks. But he's played really well, and hopefully he continues to play well and develops into a badass corner for us, which I expect him to. Jermaine Whitehead, I'll get to in a little bit. Blake Martinez, he is the number 8 ranked linebacker, and I've been critical of Blake Martinez because, dude, this guy, you never know when he's actually going to play the run. Like, sometimes, like, a couple weeks ago, he's, like, super tentative to, like, stuffing the run. He does not want to play the run, and he's just, like, sitting behind the D line, and, you know, he's just going back and forth. He's not attacking, which, like, I understand. You could attack, and then the running back cuts back, and then he goes to right where the linebacker should have been. I understand. You can't always attack. But he plays way too tentative at times, and the running backs get like 5, 6, 7 yards. And I know that our primary mission on defense is not to shut down the run. We want to shut down the pass. And Andy Reid came out last week, and he's like, high rushing yards isn't going to lose you the game or something like that. And to an extent, that's true. There's the whole side of NFL analysts. They're like, why run when you can win? Like, there's this whole notion that the running game doesn't mean shit. But we saw very clearly against the 49ers, I mean, oh my God, they ran the ball at will. It was like 7, 8, 9, 10 yards every time they toted the ball. It was fucking insane. I don't know why they didn't do more of it, because we couldn't stop them. So I've been critical of Blake Martinez, but he has, at some points, he's looked really damn good in coverage and in the run game. It's like he picks and chooses when he wants to give a fuck in the run game. So he has an 80.6 grade. He's the number 8th ranked linebacker. So hopefully he continues trending up, because I know he was more poorly ranked earlier in the season, but his grade is steadily climbing up. So hopefully he keeps that steady trend upward going. Kenny Clark, complete badass, complete savage, 90.4 grade according to Pro Football Focus. The number 4 ranked defensive interior. That's what they call interior defensive lineman at Pro Football Focus. So Kenny Clark is a complete badass. He's doing nothing wrong. I mean, I've seen multiple times during pretty much every game that he's shedding double teams. He's getting penetration. He's actually getting like a lot of production this year. He's getting tackles, and he's had a sack or two. I know for sure that he had a sack against San Francisco, and I'm pretty sure he had one earlier in the season as well. So he's getting production this year. According to Pro Football Focus and everybody who's watched Kenny Clark tape, this guy is a complete animal, and I'm really glad to see that. But we'll touch on Mike Daniels later, because Mike Daniels has not been playing Mike Daniels football. He really has not been. I don't know what his deal is, if he's got his mind. And this guy's always talking about anime and all this other stupid shit. So it's like, dude, let's focus back on football. I know you like all these other things, and he's like cheering on the Brewers and all that shit. But it's like, let's get back to playing Mike Daniels, what my high school coach used to say, dick in the dirt football. Like, just fucking hard-nosed, just kicking ass. I mean, that's Mike Daniels' MO. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Kenny Clark, complete savage, complete badass. He's playing out of his mind. He's even playing better than last year. And last year, we were like, holy fuck, Kenny Clark's a beast. And now he's even playing better, because I think last year his grade was like 86, 87. And now it's in full-on 90, which is elite. So Kenny Clark is now elite. He was Ted Thompson's parting gift to us. So yeah, I'm really excited for where Kenny Clark is and where he's headed. And also a pleasant surprise, Dean Lowry. Muhammad Wilkerson, who was actually playing pretty well. Dean Lowry steps in for him after Muhammad Wilkerson's season-ending ankle injury, and he's played pretty goddamn consistently. He's played well consistently. So he has a 77.6 grade, which is, that's right fucking there for like starter. I mean, it's it's a pretty quality starter, like a guy that gives you solid fucking reps as a starter. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Dean Lowry. He's almost got a 10-point overall grade advantage on Mike Daniels. Mike Daniels, I mean, fuck, I just want to talk about it right now. Mike Daniels, dude, what is he fucking doing? Like, you watch the games, he doesn't even play with, like, the passion that he used to. Or, I literally don't know what his deal is right now, because we're all used to Mike Daniels just being a complete, like, crazy psycho on the field and getting massive penetration and all this other stuff. And this year, we just have not seen that. You know, we've been waiting for Mike Daniels to be like a 10-sack guy, because we've all noticed that he's a damn good pass rusher as an interior defensive lineman. And we've all been really waiting for Mike Daniels to take that step from where he is to like a Geno Atkins kind of level. And now this year, it seems like he took the step from being, you know, teetering on elite to being a low-level starter. Why this is happening, I don't know. Maybe he's playing hurt. But Dean Lowry is playing significantly better than Mike Daniels, and that is something I never thought I would say coming into the season. But give credit where credit's due. Dean Lowry is kicking ass. He's playing quality reps as a starter. He's not getting blown off the line by double teams. He's holding his ground. He's getting penetration when he's being blocked by one guy. I really like what I'm seeing from Dean Lowry. Some side notes. Jermaine Whitehead, he's played pretty fucking well. I mean, you really can't complain with what Jermaine Whitehead has done. And I'll get to it a little later, but Jermaine Whitehead should probably be starting over Kentrell Bryce, because Kentrell Bryce has been fucking abysmal. Jermaine Whitehead has a 20-point overall advantage on his score over Kentrell Bryce. So, if we're being honest, Jermaine Whitehead should probably be a starter over Kentrell. He's played solid. He has a 71.2 grade, which is, you know, that's right on that level of quality starter snaps. So, like I said, he should probably be starting at strong safety. He's looked good. He's looked good in man coverage. He's played the run well. He's gotten... I mean, this guy should be leading the Packers in sacks. He's missed a couple tackles on the quarterback, you know, for sacks. But, yeah, he's looked good blitzing. He's looked good in coverage, and he's looked good against the run. I can't complain with what Jermaine Whitehead is doing right now. And Ty Montgomery has looked pretty goddamn good coming out of the backfield receiving. Being a threat out of the backfield, catching the ball. He's really looked good in that. And I don't hear enough people talking about that. Like, Ty Montgomery has looked really good, like being a third down back, like a third and long type back, because of his receiving ability out of the backfield. So, I know that I said that Aaron Jones needs to be getting more snaps, but, you know, and I don't necessarily think that we have to take Aaron Jones off the field, because I do think he can, you know, add a level of receiving ability that is advantageous to have him out there on a third and long. But I think right now, Ty Montgomery, he's showing that he is the guy in a passing third down situation where he needs to be on the field, because he's done very well. And the rookie wide receivers are coming along. Marquez Valdes-Scantling has obviously looked really good. He had, what was it, like 80 yards 2 weeks ago. And then last week against San Francisco, he had over 100 yards on 3 receptions. So definitely very explosive. He had that great adjustment to the ball where Aaron kind of put some English on it towards the sideline. And MVS, just with amazing body control, comes back to the ball, turns his body, and gets the reception. That was really nice to see. So he's taking a step. That's obvious. EQ, Equanimeous St. Brown, he's looked good. Still a little raw, still needs to work on a couple things, but I mean, another guy with amazing body control. Aaron threw that back shoulder fade at the sideline. It was like a 20-yard gain with like 11 seconds left, and EQ with amazing body control turns back, gets out of bounds. That was really nice to see. But one thing I want to talk about, don't lose the faith with Jamon Moore. Don't lose it. I know he had his drop troubles earlier in the season. That can be fixed. It looks like it has been fixed. He did have a reception. Was it? I don't think it was against San Francisco. It was either against San Francisco or it was 2 weeks. He did have a reception for 10 yards. And Aaron Rodgers kind of gave him this look like, all right, because it was a damn good route. And that's what this guy is. I tweeted it last week. Don't lose faith in Jamon Moore. This guy has special route running ability. And I feel like that's one of, if not the top attributes for wide receivers. Fucking running routes. That is so important. Is he the fastest? No. Is he the strongest? No. Is he the tallest? No. But this guy can run amazing routes. And you see Devontae. Devontae's whole thing is that he can get amazing release. He can run the slant route better than anybody in the NFL, if you're asking my opinion. He just runs amazing routes. We need guys like that on this team, and that is Jamon Moore. And my worry is, now that Kumerow is getting healthy and maybe coming back in a week or so, we might release Jamon Moore, put him on the practice squad so we can put Kumerow on the active roster because he had such a good preseason. But I don't want to lose the faith in Jamon Moore. I think he has special route running ability. His hands can and may have been fixed. I think we need to give him more opportunities. And I know it's hard with MVS now coming onto the scene, and now we get Geronimo back this week. So it'll be hard to get Jamon some opportunities, but I think he has the potential to be a dog. I really like what his skill set and what he brings to the field. Don't lose the faith in Jamon. So on to players that have not been playing well. Well, right guard has been a goddamn mess, and I said it all off season. We should have addressed it in either the draft or free agency. I mean, I would have been a fan of bringing, what's his name, Jahir or what was our? God damn it, this is embarrassing. Jahari Evans. I would have been a fan of bringing him back because it's way better than Justin McCray's lackadaisical ass. Oh my God, does he get fucking thrown around like a rag doll? We saw it week 1. Akeem Hicks was doing whatever he wanted with Justin McCray. And then now Byron Bell comes in, and holy fuck, he looks just as worse. Maybe a tad better, maybe a smidge better. But it's like, oh my God, the right guard position is a fucking mess. And then even Lane Taylor has played like shit. He's horribly ranked, low 60s according to Pro Football Focus. So both right guard and left guard have played atrociously. And that's another guy that like everybody just assumes that Lane Taylor like always plays well or solid or whatever, what have you. He doesn't. This is another guy that has graded out well like once and then never again. So we gave him that 3-year, $18 million contract, and now he's just not playing to that level. So, yeah, in this upcoming draft, we have 2 first-round draft picks. We need an edge rusher, which I will get to. So we need an edge rusher, and we need a guard. I mean, those are such top. And I know you don't draft for need, but holy fuck, it's a brutal need on both sides. We need a guard and we need an edge rusher, and we probably need 2 of each. So definitely got to address that this offseason because it's brutal to watch right now. Mike Daniels, I already hit on that, so I won't go off on that tirade again, but he's the 61st ranked defensive interior in the NFL. The 61st ranked, 67.4 grade. Mike Daniels, bro, what is going on? Moving on to Lance Kendricks. He started off so shitty, I wanted him cut. I mean, I'm pretty sure every Packers fan that was watching the games, this guy couldn't catch a cold. he couldn't catch a goddamn thing. His hands were such a mess. But I will say, these past couple weeks, he's looked pretty good. You know, on these play action bootlegs and rollouts and shit like that, he'll be in the flat and, you know, he'll turn it into a 10 or 15 yard gain. He's looked pretty solid these past couple of weeks. So maybe we all jumped the gun when we wanted him cut, but this guy has gotten better. So I like that he's turning around, but he had a fucking awful start to this season. Moving on to the corners. Most of the corners have been mediocre. None of them have an above 70 grade except for Jair Alexander. So with the addition of Bashaud Breeland, that's really good for us. A nice veteran presence who was probably the top corner on the market besides Richard Sherman this offseason. He got a 3-year, $24 million deal from... Who did he get it from? I want to say, like, was it the Ravens or the Colts or something like that? He got a 3-year, $24 million deal, but then the deal fell apart because he had some non-football injury, and I guess he was recovering from that, and so teams stayed away until the Packers signed him, deemed that he was healthy enough to play. So with the addition of him and Jair's playing well, that should give a nice boost when Jair comes back off of injury this week. Both of them playing, that should give our cornerback room a nice boost on the field. But Kevin King, Tramon Williams, Josh Jackson, none of them have played particularly well. And you can see that when you watch the games. When you go back and rewatch the games, you can definitely see that. And the Pro Football Focus grades have reflected that. We just have mediocre corner play right now, which is not what we expected from Tramon Williams. I mean, he played like a complete dog last year with Arizona. He had like an 87 grade, which is teetering on, really good and elite. So that's kind of disappointing that Tramon hasn't played to that level. I'm pretty sure he's like a 68 grade right now. And then Kevin Kane, longtime listeners or people who have followed my channel, they know that I am no Kevin Kane fan. I did a whole fucking video about why he was a horrible draft pick. But I will say that interception that he had late in the game against the 49ers, that was goddamn sexy and that was perfect, and everything about it was just picture perfect. Got his head around at the perfect time. I really don't even know how he caught it, because he snapped his head around, and then as soon as he turned his head around, the ball was falling into his arms. So can't say enough good things about that particular play. And he was playing pretty decent earlier in the season too. So something to keep watching, but his Pro Football Focus grade says that he has not played well, and going back and watching his tape, he hasn't played well. I have NFL Game Pass, which I signed up for the first week just to get like the preseason game because it wasn't televised in Illinois where I live. So I sign up for it, and then I forget about it, and a week later I paid $100 for the whole season. I'm like, God damn it. So now I just have Game Pass and I go back and rewatch the games, and yeah, watching the cornerback group, it's not particularly good. I mean, Mike Pettin has really he's put them in advantageous situations, which has helped, but there are Pro Football Focus grades, and going back and watching them tells you that it's just a mediocre group right now. And Jair Alexander adds a lot of fire to that group. He makes them, it's weird. I heard this on a podcast I was listening to the other day. It's like Jair Alexander already adds a level of swag and confidence to our defense just by him being on the field. And that's great for a rookie. I love Jair Alexander, and I can't wait to see what he becomes in this defense. So Moving on to Kentrell Bryce. Total ass. Literally in my notes right here, it says Kentrell Bryce equals ass. Because that's exact. I feel like Albert Einstein in this bitch. Because that's exactly what he has been. He had a great first week against Chicago, and then he had a monumental plummet to where he is now. Every week he's gotten beaten deep. Every week he's missing. It's egregious. Like I said earlier that Haha sometimes has sloppy attempts at tackling. Kentrell Bryce, it's not even close. He's overrunning. He's like diving at guys at the line of scrimmage. Like, dude, just get up there and fucking fit him up and bring him down. He's like diving and missing. It's excruciating to watch this guy try to tackle, which we all thought that was one of his best attributes. Remember when we played the Cowboys in the playoffs and he fucking laid out Cole Beasley? Like, that was fucking awesome. We thought this guy was just going to be a downhill train ready to just fuck up anything in his path. But that doesn't mean shit if he can't tackle like a normal NFL defender. Like, this guy, it's so fucking frustrating watching Kentrell Bryce play because this guy, he can't tackle, he can't cover. What can he do? Sometimes he'll surprisingly make a nice play, but it's few and far between. He has been ranked, he's been ranked the number 73 safety in the league. 70 fucking 3. If you think about 2 starting safeties on every team, 32 teams, that's 64 safeties. He's ranked out of all the starting safeties 73rd, which means he's ranked behind backup safeties like Jermaine Whitehead. Dude, it's such... Why the fuck is this guy still starting? I would put Jermaine Whitehead above him on the depth chart yesterday. Weeks ago. I would have done it so long ago and made your head spin. It's incredible how bad he's been and how Mike McCarthy and Mike Pettin refuse to take him off the field or refuse to sign a safety because it is such a glaring need. It's like right guard and left guard. Like it is so maddening watching how we have a glaring need and we have this inability to fix it. Even on our own team when it comes to safety. Jermaine Whitehead has played leaps and bounds better than Kentrell Bryce. He needs his position. Because Kentrell Bryce isn't getting it done. But yet, we're gonna keep trotting him out there so he can continually, I guarantee it. Mark my words, he gets beat deep by like Brandon Cooks or someone, anybody. Robert Woods, it could be anybody will beat this guy deep. He gets beat deep in the Rams game. I guarantee it. So I'm not even going to get mad when it happens because I already know that it's going to happen. So I'll be happy, I'll be ecstatic if it doesn't. But I'm already putting it in my brain that it's going to happen. In my brain, it's already happened. So I'm not going to get mad when it does. It's just completely infuriating how we trot him out there week after week, and he keeps blowing it every time, whether it's tackles or coverage. It's like clockwork, man. I'm sick of it. Moving on, all the inside linebackers besides Blake Martinez have played like shit. Oren Burks can't play the run. I was rewatching him specifically, and he's overrunning run plays, and that's a huge concern that I had with him coming out of Vanderbilt. I thought he was one of our worst draft picks. This guy can't play the run. He's looked good in pass coverage, I'll give him that, but yeah, he gets bullied in the run game. He over pursues. He is caught out of position. It's been a train wreck for him. And Antonio Morrison he's got to get some new cleats or something because the ones he's wearing must be 15 pounds each or something. This guy is so fucking slow. And sometimes, like I heard he was like a junkyard dog like when we signed him. Because like I remember him from Florida and I hated him. He was one of my least favorite inside linebacker prospects in that draft. And then he goes and gets like drafted in the 4th round by the Colts. Like, I didn't even think that he should be drafted. But yeah, this guy is so fucking slow, and people say he's like a junkyard dog. Like, he's just like so physical and he's really good in the run game. Dude, when I watch him in the run game, he'll just fucking launch himself into the offensive line. Like, he'll just like run full force into the offensive line. I don't even know if he's going for the running back. He's just trying to fucking hit something. So he just plays reckless, like, dumbass abandon. And so he's slow. Burks is fast. He can kind of play the run. Burks can't at all. Morrison can't play the pass at all. Burks kind of can. So, yeah. The loss of Jake Ryan was as big as I knew it would be. People forget that Jake Ryan was higher graded than Blake Martinez last season. Jake Ryan had like an 83 grade. Blake Martinez was like 79. People forget. Everybody paints Blake Martinez as this inept fucking moron that can't play the pass. He can play the pass. He had like I think it was against the Bears, he had like a 95 grade from Pro Football Focus when targeted in pass coverage that game. And it's not, obviously he's not lights out like that every game, but it's like he can somewhat defend the pass. He's not completely inept. He's actually a pretty good goddamn athlete. Looking at his numbers coming out from the NFL draft, he's a goddamn good athlete. He can play the pass. And he's a damn good run defender. One of the best, if not the best in the NFL. It was a big loss, and people didn't realize it at the time. Oh, we got Oren Burks. He's super athletic. Yeah, well, his athleticism allows him to overrun plays, over-pursue. And with athletic guys who are super fast like that, they're often undersized. So he gets bullied in the run game. He gets pushed around. I was trying to tell people when Jake Ryan got hurt that it was a big deal. It was a big blow to the defense. Oh, we got Blake Martinez. It doesn't matter. So fucking stupid. Moving on to outside linebacker, which is probably the worst or tied with right guard as the worst position groups on the whole fucking team. It is it's completely dreadful. I have dreadful written in my notes, all caps. It's been terrible watching our pass rush. We can't rush 4, and I know it takes like a good team. Like most teams can't just rush 4 and get pressure on the quarterback. I understand that it's a luxury to be able to just rush with 4. But holy fuck, if you look at our 4-man rush, it's abysmal. We can't get pressure whatsoever. Nick and Clay are two of the most poorly graded outside linebackers in the NFL. They're in the low 50s. That is completely and utterly terrible. I don't even know what else to say. They should not be playing as starters. You look at Kyler Fackrell. I am no fan of Kyler Fackrell. If you go back to my podcast earlier in the season, I didn't think he should be on the team. I didn't think Kyler Fackrell should make the team. I didn't think he belonged on an NFL roster. But you look at their grades, and if you look at how they've played, their grades are in the low 60s, but they've played better than Clay and Nick. Clay and Nick consistently, and I was the leader. I've said it multiple times. I was the leader of the Nick Perry bandwagon. I thought he was the best edge rusher in his class. I wanted him. Well, maybe not in his class, but I thought when we were picking, it was like 28th or something like that. And I thought that when we were picking, we needed Nick Perry. I wanted Nick Perry so bad because he was a dog coming out of USC, and his athleticism in the combine, he ran like a 4.5 flat at 270 pounds. He was completely yoked. He had like 35 reps at 225 on the bench, And all of his numbers were just so fucking amazing. And watching his film, I mean, you saw the strength and you saw the speed and you saw moves. That hasn't translated. He had that one season in his contract year, which is why looking at HaHa, it's like, is this just another Nick Perry situation? Nick Perry had that 1 year where he had 11 sacks and we had to sign him to that big contract because we needed an edge rusher so bad. This is no new phenomenon for the Packers. It's been, running like 3-4 years that we've needed a high quality edge rusher because Clay Matthews has been deteriorating. And it's never been more clear that now that Clay is way over the hill. Kyler Fackrell and Reggie Gilbert are graded like 10 points higher than Nick Perry and Clay Matthews. Like, if you really, especially in run defense, if you watch, Kyler Fackrell actually has, there's been times where Kyler Fackrell just gets completely obliterated. And like I said, I am no fan of Kyler Fackrell. I do not think he should be starting on the defense, but when you look at Clay and Nick, maybe he should be. At least in early downs, he sets the edge better than Clay. Nick, who I thought was one of the best run-defending edge players in the NFL, has completely shedded that mold so far. Reggie Gilbert is always getting caught inside, but he's offered better pass rush than both. I mean, Clay, don't get me wrong, Clay has looked good in pass rush. He's been decent rushing the passer at some points. We know all about the infamous penalties that he's accrued so far, roughing the passer and shit like that. He's gotten home a couple times, but a large majority of the game, quarterbacks are sitting pretty in the pocket. They can be back there for 4, 5, 6 seconds and not even be really rushed. Like, they can just sit there. They don't really have to move that much. They can really just sit and look pretty while they wait for. And that's another thing that's hurting our secondary. Holy shit! How long can they stay in coverage for? 4, 5, 6 seconds. That's completely inexcusable and unaskable for any secondary to cover for 6 seconds. But that's what we have to dial up the most exotic blitzes, and credit to Mike Pettin because he has like the best blitzing system. Somehow someone ranked his blitzing system as the best. I don't know the metrics. I don't know how they compiled that list, but they ranked our blitzing as the best in the NFL. And if you look at our sack numbers, guys that are getting all the sacks, it's Blake Martinez has 3. Jermaine Whitehead has like 2. And it's like safeties and inside linebackers and slot corners like Jair that are getting the sacks. It's not our edge players. It's not our D-line. Kenny Clark has a couple, but it's like that's not anything. It's slot corners, it's safeties, and it's inside linebackers. Guys that would normally be towards the bottom, they're all at the top for us because our edge players can't do shit. Nick, Clay, Kyler, Reggie have not done a goddamn thing, and it's fucking infuriating. And it's infuriating that we knew that this was going to be a problem. We knew that Kyler Fackrell was not. Goddamn, I don't give a fuck if he had that 3-sack game. One was lucky as fuck. He got thrown on the ground, and then Josh Allen fell. And his other 2 ones were really good, but the Bills' tackles are nothing to write home about. So I don't give a fuck. And then he hasn't had a sack since. That was his only game. That was his only game where he had those 3 sacks, and then he hasn't had shit since. It's completely embarrassing to realize that we knew that this was a problem going into the season. We knew that Clay was over the hill. We knew that Kyler doesn't belong on an NFL team. We knew that Reggie Gilbert looked damn good in the preseason, but he was still transitioning to the full-time duty of being on the 53. He's transitioning from being a practice squad player to being on the 53 full-time. That's a huge ask, and I was optimistic for Reggie, but so far it hasn't looked good. I thought maybe he could hit that 6-7 sack range. I was really looking forward to that. Hasn't happened. But we knew that him transitioning to the 53-man roster from the practice squad and playing the whole season on the 53 was going to be a transition. It was going to be a big ask. And he hasn't done as well as we wanted him to. And Nick and Clay are probably the worst starting duo in the NFL when it comes to edge rushers. And it's really having a huge impact on our defense. Because when we have to blitz safeties and corners, then it takes away guys that are the best covering, and it puts guys like Antonio Morrison on running backs coming out of the backfield or tight ends, and he gets completely exposed, or Oren Burks is forced to play in coverage, and while he has looked well, it's not as ideal as having Jair or Jermaine Whitehead cover in the slot, covering running backs coming out of the backfield, shit like that. So we have to blitz these quicker players. We have to come up with these exotic blitzes every fucking week. We have to come up with like a new blitz package because we have game film on all of our other blitzes. So now we have to come up with a new blitz package. And what are we gonna do this week? And how are we gonna mask that our edge rushers are complete dog shit? What are we going to do to mask that horrible situation? How can we actually effectively get to the quarterback and hurry him and make him not wait in the pocket for 6 fucking seconds? And I'm pretty goddamn critical about Brian Gutekunst right now. How the fuck did you let it get to this point? How the fuck did it get to this point? I've talked about this before. If we had Khalil Mack on our team, and I realize that there's no way for us to know what the Bears were offering. We had no idea that they were offering, a player and 2 first-round picks and all this shit. There was no way for us to know. Because even if we asked the Raiders, like, what are the Bears offering? I mean, they could make up fucking anything. It's like, they're offering 5 future first-round picks. You better offer 6 so you can get them. I mean, there was no way for us to actually know what the Bears were offering the Raiders. But I'm just saying, if we had Khalil Mack, if we had a Khalil Mack-type player on the team, holy fuck, we would be probably undefeated. Or at least we just have that one loss from Washington. Because if we could effectively get after the quarterback, then that would solve a lot of our defensive issues. But since we can't rush with 4 or 5, and we have to send like 6, and 2 of those guys being like a safety in a slot corner, it takes away our coverage ability. It exposes inside linebackers that shouldn't be in coverage in the first place. And it really puts us in a detrimental spot. So, I think I get to it later. Yeah, I do. All right. Like, posturing, maybe trading for an edge rusher. I don't think we will make a trade. I'm not one of those delusional guys that's like, oh, yeah, we could trade for Joey Bosa, whatever the fuck. Like, I'm not that guy. But I put forth a couple of scenarios that could actually work out. So, like, final thoughts. We always start off by giving up a huge lead, and then we have to battle back. It's every week. Me and my buddy watch the game together every week, and it's like, all right, so here's the game plan, guys. We're going to give up 14 or 17 or even fucking 20, and then we'll mount our comeback. And, like, that seems to be the game plan every week. Let's give up a huge lead, and then we'll make it exciting. Like, dude, I am so sick of seeing that every week. Like, I'd love to just have a game where I chill and slam back, like, 15 fucking beers. And just, like, chill and love the game and love that we're kicking someone's ass. I would love a game like that. I really would. But I never get that. It's always me pulling my hair out, grinding my teeth. Are we going to fucking mount this comeback? All right, there's 10 minutes left, and we're down by 18. If we just get 2 touchdowns in a row and get like 3 defensive stops, and then Aaron Rodgers leads us down the field, and Devontae Adams has to play fucking out of his mind and run the most perfect routes, and Geronimo Allison makes this amazing sideline catch, and Randall Cobb doesn't drop this pass. And it's like, you have to come up with these fantastical scenarios for us to win games. It's exactly what it comes down to every week. We get down in these huge holes, and then we have to battle back, and it's so fucking infuriating. I just want a game where we can play a shit team like the 49ers and just wipe them the fuck out. Wipe them off the face of the earth. Put them back in the Stone Age. Like, that's what I want. But no, I have to pull my hair out, grind my teeth, be a nervous goddamn wreck, and try and figure out 57 different scenarios so we can come back from a 20-point deficit in the fourth quarter. Like, we need to get off to a better start, and we need to be more productive in the red zone. Another point that I have is the defense they only have one good half. So, against Chicago, shit first half. Amazing second half. We completely shut them down. And that was the case last week with the 49ers. We allowed 6 points in the second half after allowing 24 in the first half. It's like we completely shit the bed and we have no idea what we're doing in the first half. And then Mike Patton's like, okay, just finally puts together a game plan that he should have been working on all week and just over the course of the half. Like, we had a really good game against Buffalo with Josh Allen, who's playing completely shitty. Like, I was reading Football Outsiders today, and they said that the Bills' offensive efficiency rating is one of the worst that they've had in the last, 20 years. It ranks as, the second worst that they've had in, 20 years. So it's like, oh, whoa, a shutout's a shutout. Yeah, against the Bills? Against the Josh Allen-led Bills offense? A shutout's a shutout? They have, no weapons. They have Kelvin Benjamin, who's pushing, 300 pounds. And what other wide receivers? What other weapons? They have Shady McCoy, but their offensive line is so shitty that he can't even fucking get out 2 yards out of the backfield before he gets fucking railroaded. So, yeah, congrats. We beat them 22-0. What does that prove? It proves fucking nothing when we get railroaded by the 49ers. And then Aaron Rodgers has to stage an amazing comeback and win that game. And what I just said a couple minutes ago before I started the defensive rant, the offense is not smooth and we cannot finish in the red zone. We can drive all the way down to the red zone and then we're completely inept. We have no red zone plays. We have no place to get guys open inside of the 20. I don't know what we did all training camp. I know that one of our big things that we worked on a lot was end zone fades with Jimmy Graham. We practiced it every day according to reporters. And now we haven't done it fucking once. Or we did do it once and then it got called back because of holding or some shit. Why aren't we doing that? Jimmy Graham's 6'7", and he's made some pretty good contested catches already this season. Why aren't we trying some end zone fades with Jimmy? Why don't we put Trips on one side and Jimmy Graham on the other side, get him isolated against one corner, and then throw it up to him and see what happens. Worst comes to worst, it's incomplete because Aaron's going to put it high. It's not like it's going to get intercepted when it's 9 feet in the air and Jimmy Graham has to go up and get it. I don't know. But we need to figure out something in the red zone. It's Mike McCarthy's job to figure that out, not mine. He needs to figure out how to get guys open when we're inside the 20, inside the 10, or the 5, whatever the fuck. Maybe a big part of that is giving Aaron Jones the goddamn ball. So we don't have to try and score from 3rd and goal and we're on our 9 or 10. How about we have to score when it's 3rd and goal and we're on the 2 or 3? Seems like it would be a lot easier to do that than, because like I mentioned earlier, we're always in these 3rd and 10, 3rd and long situations. So whatever. And also, the total yardage is deceiving. This goes back to my first point that the offense is not smooth. We start off like complete dog shit, get like a couple 3-and-outs, and then Mike McCarthy starts getting aggressive after we're down like 14 or 17 or 20. Then he starts getting aggressive because our back's against the wall. Our nuts are on the fucking fire. We have to start producing or we're going to get blown the fuck out. So then Mike McCarthy starts getting aggressive. Then he starts calling like dinks and dunks like we should have been doing earlier in the game. And we start moving the fucking ball. So the total yardage is deceiving because we're playing like 20 points down. The defense is playing with the lead. So like they don't have to be as aggressive. They already got a couple 3-and-outs and their offense hung a couple of touchdowns on us already. So they're playing with the lead. They're playing a little lax. They're playing comfortable. And that's when we get our yards, when we're already down by like 20 or a couple of scores. So I think that the total yardage is deceiving, but back-to-back 400-yard games by Aaron Rodgers, I mean that's awesome no matter like what way you put it. So moving on. Oh, I already covered this. Mike McCarthy only gets aggressive when we're down. He needs to stay aggressive. We need to be default aggressive. I listened to Jocko podcast, and he says, be default aggressive. Now, there's a whole dichotomy behind that, but Mike McCarthy could learn a whole lot from listening to the goddamn Jocko podcast. Be default aggressive. We need to stay aggressive. I don't give a damn if we're up 21 points. If we're up like 49 to fucking 28. I don't give a fuck. We need to stay default aggressive and we need to try and score. We need to bloat the fucking doors off teams. But, even when this guy has like a touchdown lead or a 10-point lead, he goes into hibernation mode. Oh, let's fucking run the ball up the middle 3 times with Jamal Williams. Or some dumb shit like that. Or he'll call, like, we'll run the ball 2 times with Jamal Williams, and then we'll call a horseshit fucking pass play that has no creativity to it whatsoever. Like, why don't we always be how we are when we're 20 points down? We'd be a lot better if we just were aggressive all the fucking time. Now, I understand there's nuance to that. But our offense is best when we've been in these horrible deficits. So how about we start playing like that all the time? I think we'd be a lot better. Pet needs to put together a complete game. Like I said, it's a tale of 2 halves with him. One half will play like dog shit. The next half will play great. Like against Minnesota, we completely shut them down for the first half. Played like total dog shit in the second half. We need to fix that. We need to play a complete game. And like I said, using the Buffalo game as a complete game is bullshit since they're one of the worst offenses in the past 20 years. So I don't want to hear that. And you could also argue, oh, well, Buffalo hung up like 27 or 30 points on Minnesota. It's like, dude, that was a fucking fluke. Go to Football Outsiders, read their fucking article this year about their latest DVOA rankings, and you'll see, like, the Buffalo Bills are complete dog shit. With that one outlier, everything else has been awful. We need to get Aaron Jones more touches. That goes without saying. I don't need to explain that to you because you probably feel the exact same way. I'm not expecting any trades, but you know what would be dope? The Cardinals are in complete disarray. They're probably looking for some draft capital. Why not get Chandler Jones? We need some edge rushers. That would be perfect. He's one of the best in the NFL. Let's bring him the fuck in. That would be dope. Or I heard the Raiders were trying to get rid of Amari Cooper and Carl Joseph. That would be dope. If we gave up a first for both, that would be pretty goddamn sick. I would be in support of that. And I know we got the rookie wide receivers that are looking pretty goddamn good. But Amari Cooper was a 4th overall pick. I'll take that. And he's made a Pro Bowl. And his hands are inconsistent, granted. But why not bring in a Pro Bowl wide receiver that's still young? And Carl Joseph packaged with that, I mean, that's probably the biggest impact because then we actually have a strong safety that is starter level on our defense. Him and Haha would be a pretty good safety pair. Not a great safety pair, not an elite safety pair, but pretty good. Karl Joseph isn't bad. He's a decent NFL starter. So yeah, that would be a goddamn good trade. Or you could substitute Amari Cooper for, let's say, a guard. How about like Gabe Jackson? How about we get Gabe Jackson and Karl Joseph for like a second round pick or something like that? That would be pretty dope because then we have starters at 2 spots that are actually good. And we don't have to rely on Byron Bell or Justin McCray and Kentrell Bryce at their respective positions. Those would be good trades. Those would be things that we could actually get done. Will we do them? Fuck no, we won't. We're going to stay with the guys that we got. And we're going to continue to get exposed. But it's fun to think about how we could be better. So that's all I got for you guys. I've already gone over an hour, which I thought I was going to, but then I was like, oh, fuck, I won't actually do a whole hour. But yeah, I've already hit an hour. I've covered everything, like my thoughts right now at the bye week. I think we're a good team. I really do. Aaron Rodgers will always put us above most teams in the NFL. But then we also have Aaron Jones. Haha's playing well. Kenny Clark is a blue chipper on the defense. There's no doubt about that now. If there was any doubt last year, that's completely eviscerated now. Mike Daniels can always get back to the old him. I don't know what's going on with him right now. Hopefully he figures it out and gets back into the swing of things. Dean Lowry's playing solid. So our D-line is playing well. Mike Daniels starts playing well. We have an elite D-line. Hopefully our edge rushers start picking it up. I'm not expecting it, but we're getting healthy at corner. Bashaud Breeland and Jair Alexander are probably going to play this week. That's going to be a big boost for the room. We have guys that are playing well. D-back is the best left tackle. Corey Linsley, number 4 center in the NFL, top 5 rated center. We have pieces. Our wide receiver room is obviously really good. We can get it done. We have the talent. We just need to be more consistent. We're playing way too sloppy, getting way too many penalties, playing out of position, shit like that. Hopefully that got figured out during this bye week. Hopefully the self-scout was as enlightening for the coaches as we need it to be. And hopefully they realized more than we need more carries running the ball. Hopefully Pettine realizes that he needs to put together a complete game. And I know that's a big ask. And I know you can't just... Obviously, if he could put together a complete game, he would. And it's more simpler than just, I'll put together a complete game today and I won't play a tale of two halves. I understand. But that shit needs to happen. We need a more complete game out of Pettine. It can't be a tale of two halves. It can't be really good in the first or really bad in the second or flip vice versa, all that shit. Hopefully they fix the problems. Hopefully self-scout was very illuminating for them as a coaching staff. Hopefully we play more consistent and more disciplined, cut out the penalties, and we play up to our potential. And I'm surprisingly optimistic. Hopefully you guys watch my YouTube video that I'm going to do for the Rams preview. I'm pretty optimistic for this game. Looking at the yardage totals and shit like that, and how we can match up with the Rams, I'm pretty optimistic. We're getting healthy at the right time. We're bringing all these guys back that weren't playing. Cobb, Geronimo, Bashaud Breeland, Jair Alexander, they're all expected to play this week. We're all expecting them to play this week. We're getting healthy. We're going to be pretty healthy. And I like how we match up. Their defense isn't all it's cracked up to be. I'll tell you that right now. I'll get more into that in the preview. So I'm optimistic about this team. I think we can put together another run, and I think we could actually do something in the playoffs, not just get to the playoffs and then fool around and get fucking blown out or lose a heartbreaker. I think this team could actually be dangerous, and I've been very critical of this team up until now, where I'm expressing my optimism. But I'm so critical because I know that we're there. The offense is moving the ball. Mike McCarthy is calling good plays when we're down. If he can do that more consistently and more early before we're down in those big fucking deficits, we could actually be a goddamn great team. Maybe not great, maybe good, but this can be a team that can make some noise and that can beat teams like the Rams and the Patriots that we have to play these next 2 weeks. I think there's a legitimate shot that we not only beat one of them, but that we beat both of them. It can happen. We have that talent, and we have the coaches to do it. Pettine is a good defensive coordinator. He's always had a top 5 defense with him as the defensive coordinator. And Mike McCarthy has been calling good plays when he's down. So if we can just put together complete games from both sides, we can beat these next 2 teams. We can beat the Rams. We can beat the Patriots. That can happen. Aaron Rodgers has been playing lights out, and we know the offense is going to take care of their end as long as the defense can take care of theirs and not put us in these huge holes. So with that, guys, I'll wrap this up. I'm going to start cranking out these podcasts more. I'm going to start putting up articles on thepackershub.com, and I'm going to be just cranking out more content. I'm going to go full bore with this. We're going to go all the way, and I'm going to be a more consistent presence in the Packers universe, and Packers YouTube, Packers Twitter, fucking articles, all this shit. I'm going to fucking do it. We're going to get it done. Go Pack Go, and I'll talk to you guys next time.